Welcome to Thoughts on the Market. I'm Andrew Sheets, head of corporate credit research at Morgan Stanley. Along with my colleagues bringing you a variety of perspectives, I'll be talking about trends across the global investment landscape and how we put those ideas together. It's Friday, February 9th at 2 p.m. in London. Almost every week, investors are confronted with a host of economic data. A perennial question hovers over each release. Should we focus more on the level of that particular economic indicator or its rate of change? In many cases, we find that the rate of change is more important for credit. If so, recent data has brought some encouraging developments, with surveys of U.S. manufacturing as well as bank lending. I'm mindful that the concept of economic data is about as abstract as you can get, so let's dig into those specific manufacturing and lending releases. Every quarter, the Federal Reserve conducts what is known as their Senior Loan Officer Survey, where they ask senior loan officers at banks about how they're doing their lending. The most recent release showed that more officers are tightening their lending standards than easing them, but the balance between the two is actually getting a little bit better or looser than last quarter. So, should we care more about the fact that lending standards are tight, or that they're getting a little less tight than before? Or consider the Purchasing Managers Index, or PMI, from the Institute of Supply Management. This is a survey of purchasing managers at American manufacturers, asking them about business conditions. The latest readings show conditions are still weaker than normal, but things are getting better and have improved over the last 6 months. In both cases, if we look back at history, the rate of change of the indicator has mattered more. As a credit investor, you've preferred tight credit conditions that are getting better versus easy credit that's getting worse. You've preferred weaker manufacturing activity that's inflecting higher instead of strong conditions that are softening. In that sense, at least for credit, recent readings of both of these indicators are a good thing, all else equal. But why do we get this result? Why, in many cases, does the rate of change matter more than the level? There are many different possibilities, and we'd stress this is far from an iron rule. But one explanation could be that markets tend to be quite aware of conditions and forward-looking. In that sense, the level of the data at any given point in time is more widely expected, less of a surprise, and less likely to move the market. But the rate of change can, and we'd stress can, offer some insight into where the data might be headed. That future is less known, and thus anything that gives a hint of where things are headed is more likely to not already be reflected in current prices. No rule applies in all situations, but for credit, when in doubt, root for a positive rate of change. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to Thoughts on the Market on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you.
The preceding content is informational only and based on information available when created. It is not an offer or solicitation, nor is it tax or legal advice. It does not consider your financial circumstances and objectives and may not be suitable for you.